2022 Big Tex Comic Con. How are y'all today? I love it. Y'all are so excited today. Okay, well, the best one I have to say is going to be happening right now. My Hero Academia panel, and I have 3 of the coolest guests here. So I'm going to go and introduce them, and please give them the biggest round of applause you have for all of today. Luci Christian. Comfortable. And guys, the point of this panel is I want all of y'all to come up here and ask as many questions as you possibly can. We have about 45 minutes or so, so if you want to come up, there is a microphone right here. So whoever's willing to come up, I'll go ahead and start it off if you want me to, and we can at least get to know them a little bit. Luci, Chris, Monica, how are y'all doing today?
Great, how are you doing?
Good. So good. How are y'all liking Comic-Con so far here in San Antonio?
Oh, this is so awesome. Thank you guys for having us out. We really appreciate y'all.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys. And we're all Texas people. So,
that's right.
Fellow Texans. Yes. Now, I do want to ask y'all, before we have some people come up to the mic, I mean, the new season just came out. What is the response so far? How are y'all feeling about the new season?
I am so excited about the new season. I think, no spoilers, of course, but like the animation already, they just are coming out. And it is just really good. Like you can tell they have decided they're gonna start the season off with a bang. Lots of action right out of the gate. I'm super excited about this season. It's gonna be awesome.
I asked Colleen if, you know how in prior seasons, usually the first show is kind of a recap show where it's like, oh, welcome and here are our heroes. And it's usually President Mike or, something. And I asked her if that was the case this season, and she's like, nope, it is. Right into the action. Like, it's really intense, and I think we're all just really excited.
I'm super excited, but I haven't shown up yet, so I'm also a little nervous. Because, I walk around the studio, and everybody's like, wow, this season of My Hero, and I'm like, I wouldn't know yet. Where's my little frog girl? So hopefully she'll show up sooner than later.
Zawa showed up very quickly to insult all of his students. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. And Denver basically asks him like, hey, you can still be my sidekick if you want to. And Zawa was like, who would take care of my useless students?
Yes, I think Ochako has only showed up for Deku to tell her to go tell somebody something. And she's like, okay.
Oh, I feel so much better now because I thought I was the only one sitting on the sideline going,
I think this season they're following, if we go with these people for a little bit and then we come back and go with these people.
Everybody's broken out into groups. Yeah, there's these 2 main groups, and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling your character is going to come in and save the day very soon. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we love that. I do want to ask y'all, so people can get to know a little bit more about y'all. I mean, how did you guys get started with voice acting?
Monica, I love everybody's like, you're old.
You go.
So I started way back in 1999. And I was doing Shakespeare. I thought that I was going to go to Broadway and be this wonderful Shakespearean actor. And then Jason Douglas, who is also a phenomenal voice actor. You might know him as Beerus from Dragon Ball and a million other things. But he and I were doing Cymbeline together. And he's like, hey, I'm doing this thing and it's all about kids saving the world and I feel like you should audition because you sound like a kid. And I'm like, thank you, I think. I don't know if I should be offended. So I auditioned for ADV Films. They just happened to be having auditions that weekend, which was unheard of. So it's like all the planets aligned. And then I thought, okay, this would be a cool job while I'm in college. I don't have to wait tables, sweet. And here we are 24 years later and I'm still doing the thing. I don't know what Broadway's like, but I'm pretty sure that this is way cooler than Broadway. Much more my speed.
Yes, I was also just an actor, and I got an audition through my agent to do a show called Neo Ranga. And I booked that, and I went and did a small role, and I went home and told my roommate at the time, well, I'm really bad at that. They're never gonna have me back, because I don't know what I'm doing. And a couple of weeks later, there was an audition for the same director, Don Rush, for a show called Full Metal Panic, and I miraculously got the lead in that show and was like, what in the actual? I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember, some of you know what this is, I remember going online, it was probably dial-up, it was so long ago, and I went to Anime News Network and promptly had a panic attack because I realized they were going to be reviewing the show, and they would find out I didn't know what I was doing. But it has worked out. I've been in it for, what, 21 years-ish? Gosh.
I'm sitting next to these legends right now. I started in 2010. I was a stage actor before that, doing radio commercials and stuff like that. And I got a chance to come into the booth and audition for a director named Joel McDonald on a show called One Piece. And, yeah, right? Well, I had never done, any voice acting at all in anime, and I wasn't familiar with a lot of the terminology. And so I walk into the booth. I've got a script in front of me. One of the reactions that I had to do as this Marine who just basically runs on and immediately gets destroyed, by the main character, was I was supposed to do something called a CT react, which is supposed to be done as a clenched teeth reaction. Kind of giving you behind the scenes on this a little bit for a moment. But I didn't know that, and I should have asked a question. And instead, when we came in for the line, I did my line, which was, oh no, it's Monkey Luffy. And instead of doing a CT react, I went,
I mean, it makes sense.
and I did not start off as the most promising anime voice actor, is what I'm trying to tell you. The director and the engineer both cracked up and then explained to me, no, you're not supposed to say that.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
It's been a decade from then, and I'm really glad to be here. Yeah.
Y'all are so versatile. I love it. And what's so cool is that you wouldn't normally, like meeting Monica, you wouldn't normally know that she might be Froppy, right? But you had to find that voice, and each of y'all had to find your voice for the characters. How did you go about finding that voice?
For this particular show?
Yeah.
Gosh, for Suyu, here's a weird little bit of trivia. Aoi Yuki, who is the seiyuu for Suyu, she and I have shared, you find that you share a lot of roles with certain seiyus, but usually it's like one or two, right? You might be like, oh, I recognize this voice. Aoi Yuki and I have shared 20 roles. It's very, very strange. I even went up to Crunchyroll and I was like, why is it, I'm not complaining, but why is it whenever this voice actress is cast in something, I get cast opposite her, even though the characters are so wildly different? And they're like, she sounds like you speaking Japanese. And I went, cool, because she's 25 and has a long career ahead of her. But I listened to Aoi Yuki, and she kind of did
You'll notice that Suyu in Japanese is a little bit higher, and so I listened to her in that voice, and so I tried to emulate it the best I could.
And then when I came into audition, I knew that we use our natural voices a lot, so I wanted to audition for the crazy characters. I wanted to audition for Mineta and Suyu, and the ones that don't look like your normal everyday kids.
So I threw out the higher pitch voice,
And then Colleen was like, hey, what if we turn it down on pitch just a little bit, because Western ears aren't as used to all the high pitch noises all the time?
so that's how we decided to take her from here and just kind of bring her down a little bit, which I think is a lot more fun. I love her.
What about you? Well, I mean, let's be real. Colleen asked me to audition for Ochako, and I was like, I'll do it, but if this isn't Lucy Christian, something's wrong with the world.
So fun fact about Ochako is I read for Froppy because we got to pick. You got to pick, because they have all the characters, usually there was a binder, and all the characters would be in the binder. And so I chose to read for for Froppy. I read for Headphone Jack, because she's so cool. I read for Mineta also, because again, these are people I don't normally get to read for. And Colleen was like, thank you very much, that was very nice. There is this one, and she is Ochako, and that is the one that you will read. And I went, oh, but then I read her and I went, oh, okay. Right, yes.
You look alike.
We look alike, yes. We are not dissimilar.
It's good to have a type,
It's
right?
good to have a type, but when your type is that, yes. Yes.
What
about you?
So when I came to Aizawa, I'm a big Batman fan, And so my first instinct was just like, and you know, the seiyuu is a guy named Junichi Suwabe who does everything of anything that has a cool character in it. He's just super cool, super, you know, textured, laid back kind of character, but of course always really daring and powerful and whatever. So my thought was like, this is kind of like, if there is a Batman of the show, this is the Batman of the show. And so I took a lot of cues from that, I think, and I just wanted to make him, you know, a lot more controlled, I think, than a lot of the stuff I normally do. And that's the one note I consistently get from Colleen when we go in the booth. She's like, that was great. He needs to be more calm. I'm like, he's in the middle of his life is in danger right now. She's like, I know, but he's still very calm and cool. Okay, all right. So we always have to ratchet it back to that really cool and centered place. And then the rest of the time he just sounds tired. And he's just over it. He's just over it all the time. When are these kids going to give him a moment of peace?
It's big dad energy. Come on, y'all. It is.
Big Dad, you never get peace, do you? Guys, and don't let me keep asking all these questions because I can talk all day. So, if you want to come up to the microphone, please come on up. Oh, yeah. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hi, so I was here yesterday, so I got to meet Chris, and I got to meet Ochako. So I want to say thank you guys for bringing this show to life. Really, it brought me out of my comfort after like everything that's happened, and it brought so many friends and so many amazing creators. But another thing, I have a question for all three of you. Out of all the seasons so far, up to the recent episodes of season 6, what's your favorite line?
Favorite line.
I have a go-to for this one. I have a cheat code for this. So every episode, Aizawa does some version of this line. So here you go, get ready. I gotta get ready for this, hold on. Okay, ready? Here it comes. He's over it, he's over it. Give the man some peace.
Weary. Do the one. Do the Bakugo one.
So my favorite still, because I love that Suyu is so sweet, but she's got those little barbs. Every once in a while she'll call you on your BS. So with Bakugo especially, you know, he's being Bakugo and she's like, well, with that attitude, you'll never be popular. She's like,
I love it. Oshako has so many great lines, but one of the ones that I really liked that stuck with me because we did it during the pandemic and finishing season 4 in the pandemic felt like a miracle. Not to give anything away, but everything's going very badly. And Sir Night Eye is like, I've seen it all, it's very bad. Deku is going down, there is no hope, I've seen it. And Ochako kind of rallies, and she says, there's no future except the one you create! And she busts out and turns the tide, and that is our hero.
I got goosebumps. I have one more question, but this one's going to be directed to Chris.
Okay.
How would Aizawa help someone with an anxiety attack?
Calm down, drink some water, and let me give you my card. I'm actually a licensed counselor as well.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey y'all, question for Monica. Oh my gosh, your shows and your characters are hilarious. I was introduced to you through High School of the Dead, through the nurse.
yes, the bouncy nurse.
Yes, the bouncy nurse, Miss Shizuka. And I recently loved your character from Ghost Stories.
Oh.
That was hilarious.
Jesus loves you.
Yes. So a question for you and all of you, out of all of your time doing voice acting, whether it's the way it was recorded, just how the crew's, gotten along, what has been your favorite characters in your whole filmography that you've done?
Ouch. There's so many. I always tell people, and this is true, it's not a cop-out, it's a little bit of a cop-out, but we put so much of ourselves into these characters that they kind of become a part of you. So picking a favorite character is kind of like picking your favorite finger or picking your favorite heart. You know what I mean? Like, how do I pick my favorite part of myself? So there's things about each one that I love individually, and I'd love to go through that, but there's a lot of them, and I don't want to take them all now. But I will say that the characters that you spend the most time with usually are the ones that you feel the most connected to. So like Bulma and Suyu and Tsubaki and the characters, because right now with the simuldubs, we go so quick. Sometimes you don't get to get as connected as you do with the long ones. But yeah, that's my cop-out answer is all of them.
Good answer, good answer.
I had a first favorite, I think you don't pick your first favorite if it's your show or whatever that you like. But I had a first favorite, and it was not a big show. It was called Princess Tutu. And that was my first favorite little baby that I played.
I always like, it seems like I've been blessed, I've been lucky to be able to work pretty consistently, and so each year there's going to be, it feels like, there has been 2 or 3 that really stand out for me, and so that's kind of cool, and I make like music playlists around them, and I figure out like, what do I think these characters might enjoy to listen to, and like, that's something I'll do when I'm driving around. I'll listen to the soundtrack of a character as I'm going into the studio to read for that character. So it's hard to choose just one, but I will say that when I first started voicing Aizawa, I put together a playlist of like, a very weird playlist of music, because I feel like he's on the outside very externally tough and stoic, and so I'm like, all right, Johnny Cash, 9 Inch Nails, Metallica, But then on the inside I was like, I think secretly he might really love like extremely cheesy pop music. So like Barry Manilow and like, just like really saccharine.
Just listening to Joni Mitchell.
And no one ever knows. Like it's his, if anybody ever found out, he'd have to kill them,
Nice. I'm gonna use that to segue into the next one really quick, just really quick. That is a very good thing to put you in the state of mind of the character that you are playing. So what do you two do to do that?
I do something a little different. I mean, I do have my playlist that I drive back and forth with, but what I'll do is I'll do my warm-ups, because warming up is important, and then I will sing along in the character voice. For Suyu, even though it doesn't fit her character at all, one of my favorite things to do is R.I.P. Coolio.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
So I just rap along. Well, because a lot of times rap music moves very quickly, and you have to enunciate and be very illiterate. Alliteration. There's a lot of alliteration. Like, I'm a voice actor. So a lot of times singing along to rap music, I find I can warm up my lips and my mouth a little bit better.
So we all know and sort of make fun sometimes that anime has a lot of names, right? You're constantly saying people's names, but that is how I know who my characters are. So I know when I am voicing Ochako, all I have to do is go, oh, hey, Deku. And I'm like, oh, right, that's her. The way I say voices for like Medusa, she's poor Krona. It's all the names. It's the names. That's what it is. For Nami, it's always Luffy. I don't know. It's always the names is how I remember where my character lives.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's cool to meet you because like Sue's my favorite. Ochako, Aizawa. It's really cool. Crap. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm very excited. What's just your favorite vibe? Like you were talking about, like type of character. What's your favorite type of character to do?
I get a lot of dads these days. I'm happy about that. I am a dad, IRL, and so I very much relate to the I don't have enough sleep and I'm very over it, sort of vibe. And then that comes out in a lot of different ways because there are sort of the, dad-like villains. Sometimes it's always fun to be villains. You really get to play a lot when you get to be a villain. You're stepping a lot of times outside of what would be considered like normal reality, I think, with being a villain. That's fun, you hope at least. And really just, I guess, dads and villains right now is a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard. I think the most challenging for me is always the boys. So that's always just a challenge. And I play, and they're all very different, like Hiro in Fruits Basket, Alois in Black Butler, Honey Senpai in Oran High School Host Club. So it's always like trying to find the boy voice and where they can live while really taking on their qualities is always a challenge. I'm gonna go with the boys today. Boys. Reg from Made in Abyss. Oh my gosh, my new favorites. Like,
What show is so weird?
it's so weird, but it's so good.
It's so good, but it's so weird. I will have to say villains. I don't get to play a lot of villains. Now that you guys have heard my natural speaking voice, you probably get why. So getting to play like Tanya in the Saga of Tanya the Evil and explode people was awesome. But I would say overall that the roles these days that I find the most intriguing are the ones that sound totally different from me.
So like getting to do Suyu's voice, or if anybody watches Black Clover,
I play Mara Leona Vermillion, and she's like way down in here.
So anytime I get to do stuff that's totally different from me, where you guys go, I didn't know that was you, that's like my new pastime. Is how can I ninja my voice so that you guys don't know it's me? And then there's shows like Uzuki where it's like, Monica, this is me. Good question.
Thank you. I have another question, but I have a comment first. Chris, like, Aizawa's literal fandom nickname is Dad Zawa, so...
I know.
Awesome.
I got confronted with that very early on in this journey, and I was just like, I embraced it, you know? Like, it means a lot of things to a lot of different people, and that's great. That's what it's supposed to do, right? So, yeah, all good.
Like, other than your character, because you seem to, like, really enjoy doing your characters, like, embracing them, like, other than your characters, who's your favorite character right now?
Toga.
I know.
Sorry, I love Toga.
Pretty sure the whole entire fandom does.
Today, I'm gonna say Kirishima. He's great.
I think Kirishima's like the most just cut and dried hero of the show. Like, maybe more than All Might. Like he doesn't really even doubt himself. He's just like, I'm a hero and that's what I am.
Solid.
I like that.
As a rock.
Solid as a rock. But I'm gonna say Stain. I'm gonna go a different direction entirely.
Oh, hero killer Stain. Yes.
I'm fascinated by Stain. I want to see more of Stain. Bring it on. It's great.
He was a good villain.
Well, it was really...
Awesome talking to you.
Thank you.
Hi, bye.
Hey, you look awesome.
You look so great.
Yes, mine was really long, so I was going to see you after the panel.
Yay!
I stopped by Chris, but yeah. So I have a question because I'm here and everyone's here for my hero, but you all have very different shows that I love and adore. So I want to know, who is your favorite character from Ghost Stories, One Piece, and Ace Attorney?
Oh yes.
Yes.
So my favorite besides Momoko in Ghost Stories is the cat. Rob Mungle is a very blue comedian. If you don't know what that means, look it up. And the fact that he was cast as that cat and some of the things he says are just, I'm like, I can't believe we ever recorded that. I can't believe that's in an anime.
And in One Piece, probably my favorite character.
So many.
There's so many, but it might be Sanji. It might be
That's
Sanji.
perfect.
I know. Nami would never say it. Like she would never admit. But it might be Sanji.
I love the dynamic between Miles Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright. And so I guess I'd have to say Phoenix Wright. And I love what Eric Vale does with Phoenix Wright in that show. And I love his outtakes so much. If you haven't seen the outtakes on YouTube, please go look it up. It'll be worth your time, I promise you. Just look up Ace Attorney outtakes on YouTube. There's a video out there, it's got, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of views. And it's just Eric Vale being hilarious. So please go check it out sometime.
Okay, another question for Chris. Miles Edgeworth, how did you come, how do I word this? How did you come to get that role?
Well, that was an audition, and I was very tempted to tell the director that I was into the show and that I was aware of the video game, but that's usually a death sentence. Like I've learned as an actor, like just don't say anything, because that usually doesn't go the way you want it to as an actor. So I tried to keep it to myself and do my best. You know, I had a voice in my head. He's very fancy, he's very full of himself, but he loses all the time. And so there's a level of humanity and vulnerability to him as well. And so I wanted to make him very serious about everything he does. He should be taken seriously at all times, you know? But then he also has his moments where he's sort of on the other foot and he's sort of down and he's losing. And so I just tried to define those parts of his character as best I could for the audition, and fortunately it went my way that time.
That's amazing. So you are aware of the video games. That was another question.
Oh yeah. No, I played it for the first time on the DS back in 2005. I was like, how could there be a video game about being a lawyer? Like that, how does that work? And so it was fascinating to figure out just what that was. Yeah.
And last question, a random one, you might get a lot, but not might get a lot, is ships. Do you follow them?
So I'm a little traumatized. I didn't understand, like when Fairy Tale came out, I didn't understand ships at all. And so like the director was asking me if I knew anything about ships, and I'm like, UPS, FedEx, like what are you talking to me about? He's like, no, you should go home and you should Google. Don't, especially if you're under 18, do not Google that. I Googled it and I was like, oh, well that's some interesting art. So now I kind of avoid it altogether just because I'm like, I don't want to ruin anybody's ideas of what might be possible, but at the same time, like, seeing Mira like that it traumatized me a little bit.
Fair.
I think, so number one, like with ships, I think it's fun, and I love that the shows inspire people to be creative, and that is super fun. We usually don't get to comment on it much because the Japanese don't want us to say anything that's not canon in the shows that we are in. So that's why you might get us being like, cool, or, you know, but not saying much. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I follow the ships, I would say the ships follow me. And they covered it all beyond that, yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Hi y'all, thank you for coming.
Hey.
This is for Chris. I watch your Twitch streams, your gameplay.
Yeah, thank you.
How did you and Kyle get into Twitch streaming, gameplay?
So, the global pandemic is what it was. I was just stuck in my home studio, turning in auditions and recording anime dubs in my underwear. Thank goodness I was able to do that still, but if you ever watch a show called The Gymnastic Samurai, just picture in your mind me in boxer shorts, because that was that entire dub. There you go, congratulations. And so I was playing a lot of video games anyway, and we talked about it, we're like, let's give this a shot. And it turns out the Venn diagram of people who play video games and people who like anime is just a circle. So very quickly figured out that there was a lot of our people, you know, on Twitch, and so been doing it ever since.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Hi, I might get a lot of hate for this, but like Star Wars is not for me. I don't know why, but it's not. But huge fan of Froppy and Ochako. Like, what is your favorite character that y'all have voiced that throughout your whole career?
We had this one a little earlier, and I think we all went, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard to choose.
it's tough to choose. It is.
I will say, I voiced a character very different from Aizawa this season in a show called Natsume's Book of Friends. It's an older show, it's been around, you know, since 2008, and I guess they're just getting around to dubbing it.
And he's a cat, and his name is Madara. And it's very fancy and sassy. He really doesn't have time for just about anybody at all.
And that's been a hell of a lot of fun.
That's so fun. I will say, I think what Monica said earlier about favorite, when you get to spend time with people. I have gotten to spend time with some One Piece pirates for 16 years, and Nami feels like my second skin. Getting to voice her has been such a joy and a delight. And I'm so excited for One Piece having the day that it's having right now. It's very exciting for all of us. So I say Nami. Let's go round.
I guess this round, since you say that about Nami, I'm like, you know what, you're right. I think that Bulma and I feel like I've grown up together with Bulma, especially, it's been a while. And so, in Super especially, she's kind of grown and turned into this really strong woman. And I'm so proud of her, and I love voicing her, and I love that the Saiyans are afraid of me. That makes me so happy.
Minus the fact that she has Vegeta. I still can't believe my Bulma was actually able to do Vegeta like that.
Well, now we know that Saiyans love strong women. So, really, there wasn't any other choice.
That's right.
Good question.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, cutie.
Hi. I just, like everybody says, we want to say thank you for always keeping our imaginations open and everything with how you guys bring characters to life. Kind of going along with how I'm doing Velma today. If you guys can be part of the mystery gang, who would you take as the role?
I love this question. You could voice it?
Well, just in general, if your character was part of the mystery gang, would they be Velma? Would they be Daphne with the fashion? Would they be Fred with the machines? Who would be each role in the mystery gang?
Can I sort of cheat with my answer and say that I would love to see Aizawa play the monster character each week in every episode?
Oh, it's me again. How did you? I would have done it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
I kind of want to hear. I want to hear Aizawa's Scrappy Doo.
We're all right, Raggy.
Yes, Daphne. Daphne? Right?
Velma, of course. Come on. I have to say, as somebody who grew up on Scooby-Doo, I'm so happy that Velma is having her day. Because I remember when we were kids, and all the girls were like, I want to be Daphne.
It's true.
Then you'd get sad, people get sad if they were Velma, and I'm like, I'm so glad that now Velma's the sexy one.
That's right.
Daphne's cool and all, but
That's right.
Go Velma.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I just want to say, Mr. Aizawa, where are your bandages?
I forgot them in the hotel room.
And I just want to say, Monica, my two favorite new characters are Lean from In Another World, my smartphone, and I just love Suyu. She's so funny, and especially with Mineta.
So those are two Aoyuki roles.
Yeah.
Again.
Anyway, since I know I'm only allowed one question, this is going to be just for all of you. If you guys could pick one or two characters that you think's personalities or powers or abilities would be compatible in your everyday life, who would you choose? Like, for example, I would say you could choose Suyu because you can scale up walls, or you can you could float things in case you want to go somewhere, or Recovery Girl can heal people.
So are they like our sidekicks?
No, as you're part of the everyday life, whose abilities you would want in your everyday life. Or you can beat them or have their powers as your everyday life.
I just want to be able to teleport everywhere. I want to never go to another airport, so I would love to be Kurogiri. Yeah. Right? Please?
Well, it has to be your own characters that you voiced.
Then I cheated. I'm sorry. That's still my answer. I don't know. I don't want to be able to cancel people's quirks because nobody has quirks. I'm just staring at people.
It doesn't have to be my hero. It could be any other character.
Anything.
Yeah, any other character that you voiced.
I know mine. Bulma. Who wouldn't want to be the richest, smartest woman in the world? And as far as Vegeta, yeah, he's annoying, but he goes off training with Goku all the time, so I get the house to myself. Yes. And Trunks, just send him off to play. Go to Chi-Chi's house. She'll take care of you. She'll feed you grilled cheese. It's great.
I think that's cool, and I would love to say someday I'd love to see Bulma in an Iron Man suit so she can fly.
Yes! I want her to fight!
I would watch that. Thank you. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra. I'm glad you said that too. I forget. So I am Ochako, but not everybody knows I'm also Recovery Girl. And so every now and then I'm Ochako and she's great. And then every now and then I get to pop in and be like, All Might, I told you to watch out. You're gonna hurt that young man. Like, it's so funny. Anyway, but yes, I'm the great healer. Smooch. Yes.
Hi, Lucy. Sorry.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. You're the voice of Miss Tuscuni from Arnold High School Hot Club. That's my favorite anime.
Yes.
I started to watch it on Netflix. I read the manga. I read the first chapter, and I'm looking for the next chapter. So.
Yes.
You know. And I got a question for three of all of you. If you can be an Arnold High School Hot Club student character. Sorry. Let me ask you one more time.
You're doing great.
Okay. If you've been cast again in Arnold High School Hot Club characters, what character would you like to be and which student?
So other than our own, like I can't pick Renge. I would want to be one of the twins.
That's a good idea. Me too. I love the idea. Yes. I know you, Lucy. You voiced my favorite, the cutie guy named Usagi. He is so cute.
Yes, it's just you, me, and Ushi-chan. Everyone else is too busy.
Oh, I know him. I know the character, and I was like, when I watched it again, I was like, who is this voice actor? And I was like, yeah, that's you. From my favorite anime. Obviously, I love that anime. I really like it.
Are there any dads in that show?
Yes! Yes!
Haruhi's dad.
Haru has a dad, Renge has a dad.
I'll be that.
And I can ask you a question.
Yes.
I know you have a high-pitched voice.
Yes.
If you were a Disney princess voicing a high-pitched voice, who would you be?
So my immediate reaction is Snow White because hello.
Yeah.
And I love her, but I also have a special place in my heart for Aurora. I love Sleeping Beauty too.
Yeah.
So maybe a cross between those, like a really pale Aurora. Yeah, we can do that.
Can you please give us your Snow White voice?
Oh, hello everyone. Have you met the toys? Let's go play. Please stop singing that high-ho song. I'm over it.
And can you please give me Sleeping Beauty?
Oh gosh. Sleeping Beauty would be a little more smooth and soft and I'm just gonna take a nap. It'll only be a second.
And my last question, if you've been cast in Sailor Moon Crystal, what Sailor Moon character would you rather be? And which Sailor Scout would you rather have the best?
My favorite Sailor Scout has always been Sailor Mercury. Even though I know I would never get cast as her, I'm like, she's my favorite.
Yes. I was gonna say Mercury. Yes.
We're friends, can you tell?
So
I would be in Sailor Moon. Any of it. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I like Sailor Venus. She's the best. I have a crush on her.
So Disney owns Marvel.
Oh.
And so Wolverine could be a Disney princess, right?
Hey! She's not a Disney princess. She's a Marvel character, man.
It's a stretch, right? It's a stretch.
I appreciate
But
your
I would like
creativity.
to be
there,
that Disney princess, I think. I don't have a Sailor Scout. I like Tuxedo Mask, he's cool.
Yeah, I think you're perfect at Tuxedo Mask.
Thank you.
Can you keep us Tuxedo Mask voice?
Hello, it's me, Tuxedo. I don't know what he says.
But thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, you're great because I already know who you really are in every My Hero Academia series.
Oh, thank you.
And your quirk is a frog, your quirk is zero gravity, and yours is what?
Being tired.
Eraser. Yeah, erase.
Oh, yeah.
You can erase all the quirks.
Because I've seen season 1, season 2, season 3, and now I want to stick with season 4, season 5, and season 6.
Yes, do it. Do it.
My quirk is one for all.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a hard one.
Yeah, totally. And from that one, I've seen their movies, like I've seen Two Heroes, Heroes Rising, and now World Heroes Mission.
Yes, I love some movies. I loved Heroes Rising was my favorite.
Me too.
Because in this part I just saw when Izuku Midori and Kanchan Bakugo had battled against tonight because they activated their full counter 100%, and so did Bakugo.
Yes. That's so good.
Such a good movie.
And from this part on World Heroes Mission, I saw this part where Izuku Midoriya had finally defeated this blue guy who did like a protector shield.
Yeah, that's right. The movies are awesome. If you guys haven't seen the movies, definitely watch the movies.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you so much. You are so sweet. Thank you for watching.
And you guys are really awesome because you three are my all-time favorites.
Oh, thank you so much. That is so nice. Hi. Favorite quirk? Ooh, that's a good one.
I think Minetta's quirk is really funny. I think it's actually like, if you really look at it on paper, maybe it's like actually really overpowered too, because I think those balls are invincible. I think they're invulnerable, at least in the and they sort of just use it for comedy, but I think it'd be really hilarious if at the end of the show or at the end of the series, somehow the day is saved by Minetta's sticky balls.
I love Momo's create quirk too. I like that a lot. Yes, it's a smart quirk, right? She has to understand it first.
Yeah, I was gonna say Momo, but since you took Momo, gosh, who else? Well, I definitely don't want Deku's quirk. Ow.
Ouch.
And I don't want Bakugo's quirk.
I mean, icy hot. There's Todoroki, also Todoroki.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I would say let's go with Todoroki, because in that way, I mean, ladies, as you get older, sometimes hormones change and you get really hot and really cold, like a second. So you're right.
She
I see
speaks
how
the
it would be
truth.
wonderful.
I like the most the Shintos.
Ooh, it's a great quirk.
Kind of sad nobody went with navel laser. What?
Ouch, my tummy. Yes.
Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Hi.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it made up?
So I don't know. This is a weird part of the world where some things they just don't quite explain to my satisfaction. Because also, why does it float over his head when he activates his quirk? I don't know. Why does it? It appears to be some sort of unbreakable material. I don't know. This is one of those things where I'd really like to sit down to lunch with the creator of My Hero someday and just ask some questions, because I've got my theories, but I have no idea what the real answer is. What do you think? Magnetic force? So Aizawa can be Magneto? I'm super down for that. Let's go.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, hello. Hi, sister. Hello. Oh, hi. Yes? Yes.
They're gonna come help you out.
Oh, there you go.
Like, which season is our favorite? Oh.
Mine was season 2.
I agree.
I loved season 2.
Sports Festival.
Sports
So
Fest.
good. Yeah, so
So
good.
great.
I don't know. I mean, the Sports Festival was great. I really think, and maybe this was because I got the opportunity to work with you guys on it, but Heroes Rising, that movie, is probably my favorite thing ever. Just because a lot of stuff happens between Deku and Bakugo, and getting to work with those guys behind the scenes on it was just a really, really cool experience.
I also liked in Heroes Rising, there were a lot of, what is it? Duos, but not that. Not meet up, link up, I don't know. Yes, that where, because I think I was with Sero in that movie. Anyway, you just got to see people together that don't normally really fight together. Like Mina Ashido and Tokoyami were fighting together, and when we saw it at the LA premiere, there's a moment in that show where Mina gets knocked out, and you saw Dark Shadow kind of rising and getting mad, and the whole theater was going nuts. It was so much fun. So cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of icy hot, hey.
Roki.
If you had to pick a character to be in One Piece, who would it be?
Oh, my hero character to be in One Piece? Super fun.
I have a feeling Aizawa maybe could get seasick. I don't know. He seems like the queasy seasick type baby. I don't think he goes on boats a whole lot. There's a character named Selkie that's like half man, half seal.
He's adorable.
Absolutely.
I think he'd be a great pick for that.
I'm a cheeky.
And isn't he also voiced by Bo
Interesting.
Billingsley too? I think he is.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
Also, I think Shigaraki would make a really fun pirate villain.
He could cut off his enemy's hands and like put them on his body.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
If I could have, so I played Tashigi in One Piece. If Tashigi could work together with Suyu, I think I could finally get Robinoa Zoro. But I would need her help. I'd be like, just lasso him.
All right, you got it.
Good question. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind.
Now I know that we had to kind of cut it short, but remember, they have their booths over in the corner, so if you want to ask more questions, you can go up and meet up with them and have a little bit more one-on-one time. Now before I let y'all go, let us know what's next. What can people expect next from y'all?
You know, like I said, I'm recording currently dubbing a show, season 2 of a show called Natsume's Book of Friends. It's on Crunchyroll. Go check it out. I play a ghost cat, and it's the silliest, most fun, wackiest role probably ever. So it's a lot of fun.
Ghost cat.
Ghost cat.
I am working on Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? We have a new season going on. It is not wrong, in case you are wondering. And a show called Made in Abyss. We have our new season. That's really exciting. I love that show. And One Piece and My Hero.
Okay, so Made in Abyss, but my character's real sad. Made in Abyss, I'm Vermeil and Gold from, it's on High Dive now, and Call of the Night. My sister is the lead, and she's awesome, so you should totally watch it. What else? At Crunchyroll, My Hero, Golden Kamuy, the show that nobody's ever watched, season 4. It's amazing. You should all watch it. We're on the 4th season, so obviously it's okay. Uzuki-chan, I'm working on Uzuki-chan season 2. What else? I'm scanning my brain. There's other stuff, but I can't remember right now.
Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys so much.
Text Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for hosting this.
Yes, thank you. That was awesome.
See y'all in a bit.
Oh, yes, rock on.
Got the selfie.
I know, yes.
I think